All right, Israel, what's good? I'm back again for another lesson. We are going to be diving head first into Genesis 22. This chapter right here, family, is probably one of the most underappreciated, misunderstood, and sugar-coated stories in the Bible. And frankly, I'm tired. I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of this watered down white people Christianity that people are trying to pass off as understanding today. So we're going to break this down verse by verse like we always do. We're going to strip it down to its raw, brutal truth and get real about what the Most High is really saying here, family. So without further ado, my brother, can you read verses 1 through 6 for me?
I sure can.
All right.
And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham. And he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the mountains of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took two of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and clave the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up and went unto the place of which God had told him. Then on the third day, Abraham lifted his eyes and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said unto his young men, Abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship, and come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son, and he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they both went of them together.
All right, family. Let's stick on verse 1 here. Let's start with that word tempt, right? I'm going to be real with y'all. This isn't some flippant test like, oh, let's see if Abraham's paying attention today, because that's what they say. This is about proving Abraham's faith beyond a shadow of a doubt. The word tempt here, family, isn't some playground test. It's the test. It's the kind of trial designed to reveal what's really inside of you. Think of it like a refining fire, as we've seen in the scriptures. Either you come out pure or you burn. Now, before you start acting, because some of y'all out there, before y'all start acting like you're too holy for this kind of test, let's get this straight. Every single one of us, I repeat, every single one of us is going to face moments where the Most High tests us to see if we are really about this life that we in right now. He gonna test you to see if you're a part of this remnant, family. This ain't some easy test you can just coast by on. You're gonna get tested. You're gonna go through the fire, family. You want to wear the name of Israel? You want to be a so-called Israelite? You better be ready to be tested. You think you're walking in faith? Best believe the Most High is going to prove your faith. This is what some of y'all need to understand. This ain't an easy walk, family. This ain't skipping down a yellow brick road like Wizard of Oz. This gonna be a hard journey. It's gonna be like some I Am Legend type stuff. I don't know if y'all seen that movie. You're gonna have to endure, family. This is what this story is gonna tell us today. So don't sit here thinking this is all about Abraham. No, this is about you. Especially some of y'all sitting in that pew in 2024. The Most High is going to put you in situations where you're going to have to choose between your comfort and your faith. This isn't that feel good, Jesus loves everybody trash they're teaching in the churches today. Oh, no. This is about whether you are ready to sacrifice. I repeat, sacrifice. If you get anything out this lesson today, remember this word, sacrifice. This is the word of the day, like Sesame Street. This is about whether you are ready to sacrifice everything for the Most High. Let's go see what our brother James got to say about this. If we go over to James 1, in chapter 1 and verse 12. So James could put a little bit more context on this. That James 1 in verse 12. What does it say, my brother?
Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
James lays it out right here. You're blessed if you endure. But that's the key, family. Right there, endurance. Not this half-hearted, lukewarm nonsense that a lot of our people, especially the ones who go to church, a lot of them are in. They bounce them to and fro, from the truth to the heathen world, from the truth to Babylon. They playing hopscotch with their souls, family. So you better be ready to go through the fire. So look what Abraham says immediately, right after. He says, here I am. Here I am. No hesitation, no excuses, no, oh, I'm busy right now, y'all. Can we do this later? Abraham didn't hit snooze on the call. He didn't send it to voicemail, family. He was ready. How many of us can say the same today in 2024? How many of y'all can say the same? Let's be honest. If the Most High called you right now, would you be ready to say, here I am? What's good, y'all? Or would you be too bogged down in your own mess, your own distractions, your own selfish desires like a lot of our people are in today? Think about it. You've been praying for deliverance, but when the Most High calls you to step up to sacrifice, you're nowhere to be found. Abraham didn't pull that. He was ready for whatever the Most High had for him, even though he had no idea what was coming. That's the faith, family. Can you have the same faith that Abraham is showing here in this chapter? Can you show the same kind of faith? Can you show the same kind of endurance? Can you show the same zeal to show up for the Most High when he call you? Some of y'all, he calling you right now, but you're sending it the voicemail. You're letting it ring. When are y'all going to pick up the phone and say, Father, here I am. Let's get it. Look at what Isaiah says. Isaiah showed the same faith, the same willingness in this verse here. Isaiah 6 in verse number 8. Isaiah 6 in verse number 8. Look at this, family. Can y'all be just like this?
Also, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send? And who will go for us? Then said I, here am I, send me.
Isaiah knew what was up, family. He didn't wait for the Most High to beg him to step up. He was ready, just like our father Abraham. And that's where we need to be, family. No hesitations, no excuses. Now we move to verse 2. Let's get real right here, family. The Most High isn't just asking Abraham to sacrifice some random thing. He's asking for Isaac. He says, take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest. This is the son that Abraham had waited for nearly 100 years. The son that was supposed to be the fulfillment of all the promises the Most High had made to him. And not only that, the Most High rubs it in his face by saying, whom thou lovest. This is hard, family, because it's a reminder that the Most High will sometimes ask us to put the very thing we love most on the altar. Let me say that again for the ones in the back. The Most High will ask you to sacrifice the one thing you hold most dear. Can you give it up, family? Can you sacrifice that thing you hold dear? Can you sacrifice your job? Heck, maybe it is a job. Maybe it's your relationship. Maybe it's a car that you love very much. Maybe it's that house you living in. Maybe it's that bank account that some of y'all put all y'all faith in. Can you give it up? Can you sacrifice that for y'all? If the Most High comes up to you and say, hey, can you sacrifice that for me? What will you be able to say? Maybe it's your pride. Whatever it is, when the Most High calls for it, you need to be ready to give it up. I had to give up. I had to sacrifice my money. I had to sacrifice my pride when I came into this truth. The Most High was not going to allow that to deter me. He took it all away from me, family. He took it all away. I had to start from scratch. Will you be able to do the same? Will you be able to do it? So you think you're walking in faith. Let me bring it to today's world. You think you're walking in faith, right? But you won't even give up your comfort. You won't even give up your convenience. Hell, some of y'all won't even give up your damn Netflix subscription, let alone your firstborn son. You think the Most High playing with you? Abraham was about to give up the son he nearly waited 100 years for. And you can't even sacrifice an hour of your day to pray. Some of y'all can't even sacrifice 12 hours on the Sabbath day to devote to the Most High Yah. We can't even sacrifice. This is what it's about, family. You're not going to get into the kingdom without sacrifice. He ain't finna allow you to just walk in comfort in this walk. Oh, no, sir. You got to give up something. Can you give it up? Look what the Most High Son says here. Matthew 10 and 37. Matthew 10 and 37. Look at what God's Son says here.
He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
Yahushua did not mince any words here. If you love anything, and I repeat, anything more than the Most High, you are not worthy of him. Abraham had to prove that Isaac wasn't more important to him than obedience to the Most High Yah. Sometimes, hey, you may have to give up something you love, whether it's your cushy job, that nice house, that car. Hell, a lot of our people love cars nowadays. You may have to give that up. If the Most High came into you and say, hey, sacrifice that car for me. Can you do it? Can you look him right in the eye and say, yes, I can? What you want me to do, Father? Can you do that? Some of you guys would rather stay on the big comfy couch. I know y'all remember that show. Most of y'all probably too old to remember that show, but I saw it growing up. The big comfy couch. Y'all remember that show? That little clown or whatever had to sit on that big old couch. Some of y'all want to sit on that comfy couch. Y'all don't want to get off the couch. Y'all don't want to have to go through the fire. Y'all are comfortable in Babylon. But the Most High is trying to stir your life up. He's trying to get you to the level he wants you to be on, Father, family. So he had to offer his son as a burnt offering. Let me break this down for you. The Most High told Abraham to kill, I repeat, kill his son. Not just kill him, offer him as a burnt offering. That means Abraham was supposed to slaughter Isaac, then burn his body as a sacrifice, family. This is the kind of obedience we talking about. How many of y'all would have straight up said, nope, can't do it. Nope, that's too much, y'all. Can't do it. Be real. You would have turned your back, made excuses, maybe even tried to rationalize it. Oh, y'all wouldn't really ask me to do that, right? But Abraham didn't do that. He heard the command and he prepared to follow through. Can y'all do the same? And here's the kicker right here. The Most High doesn't just want your lip service. He wants action. You can't just say you love the Most High and then refuse to act when he calls you to do something difficult. You got to be ready to sacrifice everything, even the thing you love the most. Again, we go to the words of his son. If we go to Luke 14, we go to Luke 14 and we're going to read verses 26 and 27. Again, that is Luke 14, 26 and 27. Look what God's son says here.
If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple.
Yahushua laying it down flat, family. Following him means being ready to let go of everything. Starting over, square one. Even your own life. You got to give up your own life, family. You got to give up the comfort. It's either or. It can't be both. Abraham was ready to do that. Are you? So we see in the third verse here, Abraham rose up early in the morning. Let me tell you something. Abraham didn't sit around moping or trying to negotiate with the Most High. He didn't try to weasel his way out of the situation. He got up early. He was ready to do what the Most High commanded him, no matter how painful or confusing it was. Now, let's be real. How many of us would have tried to stall? Raise your hand, you can. How many of us would have tried to stall? You know what I'm talking about? Maybe I'll pray about it a little bit more. Maybe the Most High will change his mind. We would have dragged our feet, family, hoping for a different answer. But Abraham, he didn't waste any time. He got up and he got to work. Check out Psalm 119 and verse 60. To remind you again, I talked about it last week. But to remind you again how we're supposed to be in this walk, when the Most High give you an order, how we're supposed to be. Psalm 119 and 60 will tell you the exact way we're supposed to be.
I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments.
That's the spirit Abraham had right there. No hesitation, no delay. He made haste. When the Most High gives you a command, you don't wait around, you move fast. So he saddled his ass and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and he clave the wood. Now look at the detail right here, family. Abraham didn't just get up and go, he prepared. He didn't leave anything to chance. He saddled his donkey, he took his servants, brought the wood, and made sure everything was in place. He wasn't just going through the motions. He was fully committed to the task at hand. How many times has the Most High called you to do something, but you half-assed it? You gave a little bit of effort, but you didn't fully commit. Abraham wasn't playing around here. He was ready to carry out the Most High's command down to the last detail. Look at what Solomon says. If we go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, and read verse 10. Again, that's Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse number 10. Check this out.
Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave, whither thou goest.
You hear that? Right there. Whatever you do it with everything you got. You can't be out here giving the Most High 50%. You better give 100% like Abraham did. Stop being lazy, family. Stop dragging your feet when the Most High tell you to do something. Do it. If you're going to do it the best way. Don't half-ass it. Remember when your parents told you to clean your room and you half-assed it? They said, well, I would have rather you just not cleaning that out than giving me this job right here. It's the same way with the Most High, family. If he give you a task to do, you do it with the utmost of your ability. 110%. So we see on the third day here, on the 4th verse, 3 days, Israel. Abraham had to sit with this for 3 whole days. Can you imagine the weight of that? Walking, knowing that at the end of the journey, you're going to have to kill your son. This wasn't some quick knee-jerk decision. Abraham had to think about it, to second guess, to turn back, but he did it. You get it, family? 3 days, 3 nights. What's this looking forward to? Don't it sound like Christ? Don't it sound like Christ? 3 days, 3 nights. He had to think about this 3 days, 3 nights. This all is a foreshadowing, but we'll get to that. The lesson here, family, again, is endurance. Sometimes the Most High will give you a command, and it won't be quick or easy. You'll have to walk it out, like DJ Unk say. Walk it out. You'll have to sit with it the whole way to that during the entire journey. But will you endure, or will you give up halfway? Check out what Hebrews had to say. If we go to Hebrews 12 and 1, look at this. That's Hebrews chapter 12 and verse number 1. Endurance.
Wherefore, seeing we are also encompassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses. Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us.
This walk ain't no sprint, family. It's a race of endurance. Abraham was in it for the long haul. We need to be the same. So he told the young men, hey, abide here with the ass, with the donkey here. So Abraham told his servants right here to stay back. Why? Because sometimes, family, the journey the Most High takes you on ain't for everybody. Not everyone can get you or go with you to the place of sacrifice. Some people are going to have to stay behind because they're not ready for what's about to happen. Let's be real. Some of you are trying to drag people along your spiritual journey who have no business being there. You're trying to bring folks with you who don't have no faith, who aren't ready to sacrifice, who are going to hold you back. Abraham knew better. He told them to stay behind because this part of the journey was between him, Isaac, and the Most High. And it's the same with you, family. You can't bring your family along with this, your sacrifice to the altar. You got to do it. It's between you and the Most High. And whatever it is you're going to sacrifice. People ain't going to be able to understand what you're about to do, family. That's why you got to separate. So if we go over to Matthew 7 and 6, God's Son says this again. What does he say? Matthew 7 and 6.
Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before the swine, lest they trample them under their feet, and turn again and rend you.
Not everyone deserves access to the holy things the Most High is doing in your life. Some folks are going to trample on it, and you need to leave them behind. That's why we can't be unequally yoked with people in our lives, because this was going to happen to you. There's a lonely walk, family. A lot of people going to leave you. A lot of people going to call you crazy, insane for following that book. That old dusty book. That's what they're going to tell you. That's what they're going to say. And you're going to have to separate. Leave them behind. So Abraham continues, I and the lad will go yonder and worship. Look at this word, worship. This is what real worship looks like, Israel. Not singing a few songs or clapping your hands in church. Real worship is about sacrifice. It's about giving up the very thing you hold dearest, whatever that is, all in obedience to whom? The Most High. Abraham was about to sacrifice his son, family, and he called it worship. That's because worship isn't about you and your feelings. It's about submission. It's about obedience and sacrifice. If your worship doesn't cost you something, is it even real? That's a question you need to ask yourself. Is it even real? If you ain't losing anything in this walk, if you don't gotta give up something in this walk, are you really in the walk? Or are you deluding yourself? Look what Romans 12 and 1 says here. If we go there. Romans 12 and verse number 1.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service.
Paul knew what was up. Your whole life is a sacrifice. That's your reasonable service. That's what the Most High expects from you. Your whole life on the altar. Can you put your life on the altar, Israel? Or you're too prideful to do that? I'm going to do me. I ain't giving up nothing. This is all my stuff. I ain't giving up nothing. I'm comfortable. I love it here in Babylon. I love having 10,000 channels on cable. I love my Netflix subscription. I love my car. I love my job. I love my money. I ain't giving you nothing. That's the majority of our people. And even people in this walk, they got the same attitude. Let that not be you, family. And finally, the 6th verse here. Abraham took the wood and laid it upon us. Look at this right here, family. Isaac is the one carrying the wood for his own sacrifice. Let that sink in. The very thing that's going to be used to burn him alive is what he's carrying on his back. Uh-oh. That's some heavy symbolism right there. Why? Because Isaac here is a type of Christ. What did Yahusha do? He carried his own cross, family. He bore the instrument of his own death. And just like Isaac, he went willingly. But here's the difference. Yahusha wasn't spared. He was the sacrifice for the sins of Israel. Isaac was spared, but Yahusha had to die. If we go read John 19 and 17, look at this right here. John 19 and verse number 17.
And he bare his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha.
So just like Isaac carried the wood, Yahusha carried his own cross. But Yahusha didn't get a ram in the thicket. He was the lamb. So we've only scratched the surface here, family. Y'all starting to feel this yet? This chapter is no joke. I need y'all to truly get this, because this symbolizes your whole walk with Yah in your present time today. So let's keep this fire going. We're going to dive even deeper into this chapter. And believe me, it only gets more intense. If you thought you was comfortable, you're in for a rude awakening. This is where the Most High starts stripping down everything you thought you knew about sacrifice, faith, and obedience. So we're finna pick it up at verse number 7. We're going to read that. We're going to read number 8, 9, 10 for now. 7, 8, 9, and 10.
And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father and said, My father. He said, Here I am, my son. And he said, Behold the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? And Abraham said, My son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together. And they came to the place which God had told of. And Abraham built an altar there and laid the wood in order and bound Isaac his son and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son.
All right, let's pause here. Verse 7. Isaac isn't dumb, all right? He's old enough to understand what's going on. He sees the fire. He sees the wood, but there's no lamb. Now, you got to feel the weight of this moment right here, family. Isaac is looking up at his father, Abraham, the same man who's taught him about the Most High, about sacrifice, about faith, and he's asking, where is the sacrifice, Dad? Now, think about the pressure on Abraham here. His son, his only son, the one he loves, is looking him in the eyes, expecting an answer. Isaac is probably starting to put 2 and 2 together. You can imagine the tension in the air at that time, family. This isn't some casual father-son chat. This is the moment when Isaac begins to realize something off. Something ain't right. What are we sacrificing here, Father? And let me tell you, Israel, sometimes the people closest to you are going to look at you and ask, what's going on? Why does this path you're walking seem so crazy? I know some of y'all have already dealt with that. I know I have. You talking crazy stuff. Black people, Israelites, what you talking about? That's stupid. They may not understand the sacrifice you're about to make. They may not see the bigger picture. But like Abraham, you got to stay focused on what the Most High has commanded you to do, even when, family, even when it doesn't even make sense to anyone else. If we go and see what Paul had to say about this, if we go to 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse number 14, Paul expounds on what I just said. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse number 14. Check this out.
But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned.
People, family, are going to look at you like you lost your damn mind when you start moving in spiritual obedience. Don't they already look at y'all like that right now? You stop eating pork. You stop eating shellfish, lobster tails, and crab meat and all that stuff, and you go over to the family house for the cookout or whatever, and you tell them, "Nah, I don't eat that no more." They don't look at you crazy? I know my people did. What you mean you don't eat pork? What you mean? What you mean? You stop eating crab meat. That's stupid. What you mean you don't do nothing on the Sabbath day? That's the day when everybody does something. What you mean you just sit there and you just read the Bible? What? That don't make no sense. That's how they look at you, family. Because they can't understand. They don't have the mind to understand the things that you're doing in your life, the sacrifice that you are doing. Because you're making a sacrifice when you follow the Most High's laws. Because guess what? You used to do all of those things that were against the Most High's laws. Now you're sacrificing the flesh not to do it no more. That's a sacrifice. And they won't understand it because they're operating in the flesh. Isaac was asking a logical question based on what he saw. But Abraham was moving based on faith in what he couldn't see. And that, family, is the crux of the whole thing. You see something that the masses of our people can't see. When you look at the Bible, you see a history book for our people. When they see the Bible, they see something that the white man wrote. Two totally different things. They will not be able to understand the sacrifices you are making in this truth. That's why they look at you crazy. But that's just part of the walk, family. But some people, they don't like that. They feel that pressure. And guess what they do? They go right back to the vomit. Because they care more about the opinion of man than about obedience in the Most High Yah. They're more fearful of the creation than they are of the Creator. A lot of people in this truth are the same way. They may wear their fringes, family. They may say all praises and great glory to the Most High. Shalom, shalom. But guess what? They ain't sacrificing nothing. They not like us. Can you be able to discern the real from the fake? Because they look just like your family. They say shalom to y'all up in your face, but you don't know what they doing behind closed doors. That's why we got to be operating in the spirit, family, so we be able to separate ourselves from these fake people who trying to bring us away from sacrificing, away from walking in the truth with the Most High Yah. So look what Abraham says here. Very crucial. He says in the 8th verse, God will provide himself a lamb. Now this right here is a loaded statement if I haven't heard one. Abraham is speaking on two levels. He's answering Isaac's immediate question, but he's also speaking prophetically. Remember, he is a prophet. People don't like to consider Abraham a prophet, but the Most High called him a prophet. We already read that a couple chapters back. When the Most High was getting on Abimelech, he called him a prophet. He is a prophet. Now, don't get it twisted. Abraham wasn't lying to Isaac. He wasn't trying to manipulate the situation. He knew that if the Most High had commanded him to sacrifice Isaac, he would also provide a way out. Faith is knowing that even when you can't see the solution, family, the Most High already has it worked out. We saw it last week with Hagar. Remember, she was in the wilderness? The well was already there, but she couldn't see it. And so what Abraham says here is deeper than just a moment. God will provide himself a lamb. That's pointing straight to Christ, his son. The Most High didn't just provide a lamb for Abraham that day. He provided the lamb for all of Israel in the form of Yahushua. Just like Isaac was about to be sacrificed, Yahushua became the ultimate sacrifice. So we bring this to 2024, talking to you right now. Some of y'all out there right now, some of y'all are stressing about how the Most High is going to come through for you. You're looking at your situation and you're asking, where is the solution? How am I going to get out of this? You don't see a way out. So you start panicking. A lot of our people panicking right now, family. They panicking. They seen all these heathen getting rowdy out there. They panicking. What's the solution? What we gonna do? What we gonna do? They trying to figure it out on their own. But Abraham didn't do that. He knew the Most High had it under control. And that's what we got to understand. As the remnant, if you say you are a part of the remnant, this is what you got to understand. When you got problems in your life, you got to understand that the Most High has it under control. He ain't going to destroy you. He may teach you lessons, but he will not destroy you. It may look like he's throwing you over the cliff, but he gonna pull you right back from the edge. You gotta have trust in him to know he gonna make a way out. And yes, right now it looks bleak for our people. We on the bottom of the world and everything. Every nation we in, we on the bottom, struggling with oppression, scattered, destroyed in knowledge of who we are as a people. It looks bleak, but we understand. If you're part of this truth, you understand the Most High gonna make a way out. He already promised it in this book. He gonna come back for his people. He gonna gather the remnant back to the homeland, and we gonna rule over everything. But right now, it don't look that way. It don't seem that way. A lot of people panicking, family. Just look at our people on social media. They panicking. They don't know what to do with this election. They have no idea what to do with what's coming up. This is why you have to have faith and understand that the Most High is going to do what he's going to do. So Abraham knew this. He knew he had it under control, even if he couldn't see the ram. What I want you guys to understand is you don't have to see the solution to trust that the Most High has already provided it. If we go to John 1:29, look at this right here. Here's the lamb. Here's the lamb that Abraham said that God was going to provide. If we go to John 1:29, look what John says. Again, that's John 1 in verse 29. Check it.
The next day John seeth Jesus coming unto him, and said, Behold the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sin of the world.
Yahushua is the lamb that was provided. Just like the Most High provided a lamb for Abraham, he provided one for the whole nation of Israel through who? Christ. Y'all see it? It's already been provided, family. The solution is already there. The Most High's word is already going forth. So what you panicking for? What you scared of? Take that fear and throw it in the garbage where it belongs. Fear has no place in this walk with the Most High. We know this already. Look at verse 9 right here. Abraham built an altar, bound his son. Now don't miss this right here. Abraham didn't just roll up and throw Isaac on the altar. He built the altar. He laid the wood in order. This wasn't some rushed, sloppy, last-minute act right here, family. Abraham was deliberate. He was intentional. He knew exactly what he was doing. You don't offer a sloppy sacrifice to the Most High, and Abraham wasn't about to do that. Some of y'all out here giving the Most High your hand-me-downs. You're throwing him whatever's left of your time, whatever's left of your energy, whatever's left of your devotion, and you think that's going to cut it. I think not. The Most High wants your best. He wants what you lovest, as he said in the beginning. He wants what you hold dearest. He don't want your scraps. He don't want something that you don't care about. He wants something that you love. Can you sacrifice that on the altar for him? Can you do it? Hey, sacrifice your son. Hey, sacrifice your daughter. Hey, sacrifice that house. Sacrifice that car. Sacrifice that time. Can you do it? Can you put it on the altar, family? And not in a sloppy way. In a timely way. In an orderly way. Can you do it? Your sacrifice has to be intentional. You got to build the altar, lay the wood in order, and make sure you're giving the Most High your best. And let's talk about Isaac for a minute right here. Notice, Isaac didn't fight back, family. He didn't resist. Abraham was over 100 years old at this point, and Isaac was strong enough to carry the wood. If Isaac wanted to, he could have overpowered Abraham and ran. But he didn't. He submitted. Why? Because Isaac trusted his father, just like Abraham trusted the Most High. Isaac understood that obedience to the Most High was more important than his own life. This, my brothers and sisters, is the kind of faith we need to be raising our sons and daughters with today. We already read what Paul said. You got to present your bodies a living sacrifice. Isaac was literally presenting his body as that living sacrifice. That's what we're called to do as well. Our lives are supposed to be laid down on the altar of obedience, but some of y'all don't want to obey. The Most High said, hey, my Sabbath day holy. Some of y'all not obeying that. Can't sit still for 12 hours a day. My feast days holy. Some of y'all can't keep the feast days. Where's the obedience? We can only say, oh, we in captivity for so long before the Most High say, so what? Where's my effort? Where's the effort? That's in the cop-out. That's an excuse. The Israelites back in Greece was in captivity, but they kept the Sabbath day. They got killed in keeping the Sabbath day in the book of Maccabees. But our people said, oh, man, we can't keep all them feasts. Oh, we can't keep the Sabbath day, blah, 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 blah. We can't do that, man. We in the land of our captivity. So was our people during the whole of their dang on history. Was in captivity. Did they keep the feast days? Yes, they did. Did they keep the Passover? Yes, they did. Did they keep the Sabbath? Yes, they did. Jesus did it. Paul did it. They was in captivity under the Romans at that time. But they was keeping all of the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. What's your excuse today? There ain't no excuse. You ain't going to be able to tell the Most High, oh, I was in captivity. That ain't enough. Most High going to cast you aside and burn you alive. Where's the obedience, family? Where is the obedience? Why we keep on making excuses for why we can't do this, why we can't do it? Why? Why as a people do we do this? We do this for even things outside of the Most High Yah. Your boss asks you questions and we make excuses for it. Why'd you come in late? Oh, well, my car wouldn't start. It was stupid stuff. Why are we doing this to Most High? Do y'all know the Most High could have killed us a whole long time ago? Heck, he even told Moses, say, hey, man, hey, I could kill all these people right here, and I could just make a whole new nation with you. I can just do it right now. Moses said, no, don't do that, Father. Don't do that. And yet we still throw his laws in his face. Where's the obedience? Where's the obedience like Abraham and Isaac showing right here? Where is it today amongst our people, even in the truth? Where is it? Look at verse 10 right here. Abraham stretched forth his hand, took the knife to slay us. He's about to do it, family. This is the moment of truth right here. Abraham wasn't bluffing. He wasn't just going through the motions, hoping the Most High would stop him at the last second. He was fully prepared to kill his son because that's what the Most High commanded him to do. This is what real obedience looks like. It's not about doing what's comfortable. It's not doing what's convenient. It's about following through, even when it costs you everything. Can you people do that today? Let me break it down, because I got to break it down for some of y'all. Some of you are holding on to things in your life right now, right at this very second. You're holding on to things in your life that the Most High has told you to sacrifice, but you're too scared to let it go. You're standing there with the knife in your hand, but you won't bring it down because you're afraid of what's going to cost you. But Abraham didn't hesitate, did he? He was ready to follow through no matter the cost. Let's turn our books to Hebrews. Hebrews 11. Look at this right here. Hebrews 11, 17 through 19. Again, that's Hebrew 11, 17 through 19. Look at this.
By faith, Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac, and he that had received the promises offered up his only begotten son, of whom it was said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called, accounting that God was able to raise him up even from the dead, from whence he also received him in a figure.
Y'all see that right there? Abraham's faith was so strong that he believed the Most High could raise Isaac from the dead if necessary. That's the kind of faith we need to have. Because did he not do it with Christ? Did not the Father raise up his own son, the other lamb that he provided for Israel? Did he not raise him up? That's the same faith. And Christ didn't even exist in Abraham's time yet. But he said, hey, if I kill Isaac, the Most High can raise him up from the dead. If he wanted to, if that was his will, he can do it. What's your excuse for not putting whatever the Most High wants you to sacrifice on the altar and bringing the knife down and sacrificing that, whatever that thing is? Why can't you have the same faith that, hey, Most High wants some of my time? Well, he want my job. He want me to sacrifice my job. Why can't you have the same faith that, hey, the Most High probably got a better job lined up for me, but he want to see if I'm able to sacrifice this job right here because I love this job. Some of y'all too scared. Hey, if I lose my job, I ain't gonna be able to get another one. Hey, if I sacrifice my car, oh man, I ain't gonna be able to get another one. Sacrifice a dead relationship, oh, I ain't gonna be able to meet nobody no more. Abraham said he can raise his son from the dead. You don't think the creator of the universe can get you a better job, can get you a better car, can get you more money? He created it all. This money that we got right here, he created it. You don't think he can give you more of it if he wanted to? Can give you more free time if you wanted to? All he's telling you, hey, sacrifice the time. Devote your time to me. Pray more to me. Give me more of you so I can get closer to you. And then guess what? I'm going to give you more time. But we see it as, oh, we losing something. Dang, man, if I give up my time to y'all, man, I ain't going to have no time for myself. Stupid thinking. This is why we on the bottom. Because we got no faith that the Most High can bring us out and put us on the top. That's why we stay in the bottom, because we don't got faith that the Most High can put us to the top. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And the heathen just sit back and they wallow in it and they look at you every day. They like, man, these God's people right here. Why they don't think this? Most of them know who you are. Most of them know who you are. Why can't you know who you are? Black people, they know who you are over there in the so-called Middle East over there. They know you Israel. Hell, even the fake Jews over there know you Israel. They just got to play the part. You don't know you Israel. We trying to tell you Israel, but you don't believe it because you have been conditioned to think that you are beneath everyone on the planet. And by having that type of belief, having that kind of faith, it keeps you right there. Family, I hope that what I'm saying is hitting. I hope I'm finding a target for each of these things that I'm going on today, because our people need to hear these truths today. There's a lot of laziness, complacency in this truth. A lot of people say they love the Most High, but I don't see it. Where's the obedience? When it comes, when the rubber meets the road, where your faith at? Why we have so much fear in this walk? I see a lot of people, they got fear. They're scared. They're too scared to make moves because they don't know what's gonna happen. That's your flesh. Abraham didn't show no fear here, family. He said, all right, fam. He's like, all right, y'all, I got you. You want me to kill my son? I got you. Why can't we show the same level of faith right here, family? Why are we so lazy as a people? Why are we so stubborn and high-minded, prideful? We don't want to give up nothing. We think, hey, we supposed to be in this walk and we don't got to give up nothing. We don't got to sacrifice nothing. We don't got to obey. All we can say is, hey, I'm Israel. That's good enough. I'll read the Bible. Barely. Some of y'all don't even read the Bible. Y'all in the truth. Some of y'all don't even know the Bible. That's crazy to me. Your Bible sit there. It's dusty. It's dusty. It just sit there on the coffee table. Heck, some of y'all just use it as a coaster. You put your drink right on top of it. You don't even open it. Your Bible staring at you every day, screaming, hey, read me, nigga. But you don't. It's a sad thing, family. Very sad. But we continue on. Verses 11, 12, 13, and 14.
And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. And he said, Lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest God, seeing that thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me. And Abraham lifted his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. And Abraham called the name of that place Jehovah Jireh, as it is said to this day, in the mount of the Lord it shall be seen.
So Abraham says, no, now I know that thou fearest God. This is what the angel said to him. So here it is right there, family. The Most High stops Abraham right when he's about to bring the knife down. What does he say? Now I know that thou fearest God. Let that sink in. After all Abraham had done up to this point, leaving his homeland, wandering in the wilderness, waiting for Isaac, the Most High says, now I know. What does that tell you, family? It tells you that your faith isn't proven by what you say. It's proven by what you are willing to sacrifice. I repeat, it's proven by what you are willing to sacrifice. Willing. Some of y'all ain't willing to sacrifice nothing. The Most High could have killed you in your early days when you was out there in the world. He could have killed you like he does a lot of our people today. He could have straight up took you out and we would have deserved it. But he said, nah, I got something special for you. I want to bring you over here. And you got the nerve to say, I ain't going to sacrifice nothing. You are biting the hand that feeds you, Israel, when you do that. When the Most High tells you to do something and you drag your feet, you are biting the hand that feeds you. You can only have so much grace until that grace runs out. And the Most High said, all right, I'm done with this one. Throw you in the garbage. Do you want to be thrown in the garbage, family? Is that what you want? Is that how hard it's got to be? Does the Most High have to throw you in the garbage for you to finally realize, oh crap, I should have done that? Abraham's actions right here proved his fear and his reverence, his respect for the Most High. Some of y'all are out here claiming to fear the Most High, but you haven't sacrificed anything. You're still holding on to your comfort, your pride, your sin. Don't tell me you fear the Most High when you're not willing to lay it all down on the altar. Anything else is just talk. The Most High ain't about talk. He about action. Oh, I love Yah. The Most High says, show me. Prove to me you love me. And he gave us the commandments. Right there, that's a proof right there to prove to him. Following these commandments, that's a proof. That's how we can prove ourselves that, hey, we love you, Father. We're going to do what you told us to do. That's how you prove, without a shadow of a doubt, that you love someone by doing what they say. Same way your parents. Parents tell you, hey, don't talk to strangers. How can you prove that you love them? Hey, don't talk to strangers. Parents gave you rules, you follow them. Most High gave us rules. Apparently, we don't want to follow those. And they simple rules. They're not even hard. What's hard about sitting still on Saturday? What's hard about resting on Saturday? What's hard about that? But apparently, it's how a lot of people can't keep it. Even in the truth, people still do what they want to do on the Sabbath day. Working and doing all this crazy stuff. They still do it. The Most High wants your obedience. You can't be in His truth and be disobeying His laws. I mean, that makes sense, right? Will a job keep you if you keep on disobeying their rules? Nope, they'll fire your ass and throw you on the street. What makes you think the Most High any different? If we go to James 2, look what James says here. James 2, 21 and 22. Again, that's James 2, 21 and 22. This is how you show your faith, fam.
Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Isaac, his son, upon the altar? Seest thou hast faith wrought with his works, and by works was faith made perfect.
Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead, Israel. Abraham's faith was made perfect through his actions. That's how you show Yah you got faith, through your actions. You can't just talk a good game. A lot of y'all talk a good game, boy. I tell you, boy, y'all good. Y'all good. Y'all like them heathen out there, boy. Y'all got that silver tongue. You talk a good game. But guess what? You got to be willing to follow through, just like Abraham did. And that's where the separation happens. Some of y'all talk a good game, but when it come down to proving to the Most High Yah that you not just talk, y'all just say, nah, I'm good. You walk away. You give up. You say, nah, I ain't about that life. I ain't know we had to do all that. That seemed like too much work. I'm good. I'm going back over here to Babylon. They didn't have to say, they didn't tell me I had to do all this stuff. I can just do whatever the heck I want. If I want to be gay, I could be gay. They don't give me no rules. They tell me, do what thou wilt. Is that who y'all want to be? Y'all want to be like those people? People fall away every day, family. I see it. People fall away every day. Every day. They can't cut it. It's too hard for the people. They don't want to do it. The Most High asking too much, man. This hard stuff. They thought it was going to be easy. They thought it was going to be a walk in the park. They didn't think they was going to have to climb this mountain to the top. Oh, no, sirree. You're going to climb. Your arms going to be hurting. Your fingers going to be hurting. Your feet, your legs, your entire body is going to hurt, family. But guess what? Guess what? At the end, it's going to be worth it. You keep your eyes on the prize and you keep climbing and don't stop until you to the top. So Abraham, in the 13th verse, he lifted his eyes up. And he sees the ram caught in the thicket right here. Here's the provision right here, family. The Most High didn't just stop the sacrifice. He provided a substitute. So Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw this ram that was caught in the thicket. The Most High had already made a way, but Abraham didn't see it until he had proven his obedience. Some of y'all are waiting, and I know y'all been waiting. Some of y'all are waiting for the Most High to provide for you, but you haven't even proven your faith yet. You haven't lifted up your hand to the knife, and you're wondering why the provision hasn't come. Obedience comes first, then the provision. I repeat, obedience comes first, then the provision, the blessings. And let's not miss the deeper symbolism. The ram is a substitute for Isaac, just like Christ is the substitute for us. We deserve death. I repeat, we deserve death. But the Lamb of the Most High took our place. That's the gospel right there. Sacrifice, substitution, and salvation through what? Obedience. Look what Paul says here. 2 Corinthians 5:21. Again, that is the 2 Corinthians 5:21. Look what Paul said here.
For he hath made him to be sin for us, who knew no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of God in him.
Christ became the substitute for our sins. Just like that ram became the substitute for Isaac. The Most High always provides a way. I repeat, he always provides a way. But it's through obedience that we receive it. Through obedience. You got to sacrifice something. You want some blessings? You want the Most High to heed your prayer? Sacrifice something. Give up something. Stop being lazy. Give it up. It's all temporary anyway. Why you can't give it up? Why you holding on to stuff? Most High said, give it up already. You heeding, you are impeding upon your own blessing, family. You are the reason why you can't get a blessing. You are the reason. No other blame. You have to take accountability that you are the reason that you don't see no blessings in your life. Too many of our people keep on blaming everything else but themselves for their own condition. Our people are kings and queens at this. The blame game, race card, whatever you want to call it. They are quick to blame everything else but themselves. Wonder why you're on the bottom of society? Because our ancestors didn't obey God. That's the reason your behind is on the bottom. You want to know why you still on the bottom? Because you are not obeying God. You want to know why God hasn't answered your prayers? Because you can't obey him. You refuse to sacrifice. You refuse to have faith. This is why you have problems in your life. It is no other external thing out there. You can't blame Babylon. You can't blame the white man. You can't blame none of it. You are the reason. We need to understand this as a people. We love blaming everybody else but ourselves. We love doing it. We love it. We come up with excuses for everything. We do not want to take accountability. We are allergic to accountability. This is the reason why the Most High has not moved on our behalf, because we refuse to obey. We refuse to sacrifice. We refuse to have faith as a whole, as a nation. We don't care about God. That is the truth of the matter. I don't care how much it hurts. That's the truth. We don't care about God as a people. We don't care. We don't care. We try to bring it up to our family. They don't care. They want to change the subject. They would rather talk about football. They'd rather talk about basketball. They'd rather talk about baseball, anything else but what the Most High has held us to do. They don't give a crap. This is the reason why you don't get no blessings. This is the reason why we as a people still struggle. As a whole, we struggle. We struggle. We're going to keep on struggling until we finally realize, oh crap, we the problem. And it ain't going to happen until the Most High turn the heat up in the oven. He going to have to cook us. He going to have to cook us before we cry out. He going to cook us, and boy, he's ready to cook us. These heathen are at the ready. The Most High is going to unleash them worldwide until Israel cries out to him and admit that, hey, we the problem. We sorry. We repent. Until that day, enjoy the struggle. Enjoy the tribulation. Use these times to strengthen your faith in the Most High Yah. This is what you do as a part of the remnant to keep your blessings good individually. This is what you got to do. 14. He calls it Jehovah Jireh. The Lord will provide. This is the name Abraham gave that place because it was there that the Most High revealed himself as what? The ultimate provider. But don't get twisted. This isn't just about material blessings. This is about spiritual blessings. The Most High provides what we need to fulfill his will, even when it seems impossible. This is what he's showing right here. This is what he's showing. Paul talk about it too. If we go to Philippians, we go to Philippians 4 in verse 19. Look what Paul says here. Again, that's Philippians chapter 4 and verse 19. Check this out.
But my God shall supply all your need according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus.
So the Most High provides everything we need to walk in obedience to him. But you've got to step out in faith first. You've got to be willing to sacrifice. You've got to trust that the Most High has already made a way, even if you can't see it. That's the faith. That's the faith. So we've reached a pivotal moment in this story. Abraham didn't just walk away from this test with his son intact. He walked away with a deeper understanding of the Most High's provision and power. But the question is, will you walk in this kind of faith, in obedience? Will you sacrifice whatever the Most High is asking of you, trusting that he will provide? So let's keep this momentum going, because we ain't done yet, family. We've only scratched the surface of what's happening in this chapter. And trust me, the deeper we go, the more the truth hits like a hammer. If you're still with me, good. Because this is where the Most High really starts revealing his plan. And it's not for the faint of heart. I promise you this. So we continue. We read verses 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. So 15 through 19.
And the angel of the Lord called unto Abraham out of heaven the second time and said, By myself have I sworn, saith the Lord, for because thou hast done this thing, and hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed, as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore. And thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned unto his young men, and they rose up and went together to Beersheba. And Abraham dwelt at Beersheba.
So check out 15 and 16, right? By myself have I sworn, saith the Lord. So let me break this down right here. The Most High doesn't need to swear by anything. He is the ultimate authority. We should know this. But when he says, by myself I have sworn, he's emphasizing what? The absolute certainty and seriousness of what he's about to say. This isn't just a casual promise. This is the Most High putting his own name on the line, which means what? It's unbreakable. So notice the reason why the Most High swears by himself. Because thou hast done this thing and hast not withheld thy son. The Most High is responding to Abraham's obedience. Abraham didn't flinch. Abraham didn't hesitate. He didn't back down or hold back the one thing most precious to him, his son. And for that, the Most High is about to unleash a blessing that's going to reverberate through all of Israel, even until this day, in 2024. It's still applicable today. Now, let me be real with some of y'all. Some of y'all are out here praying for blessings, as I said before. But you've been withholding what the Most High has asked of you. You want the Most High to move on your behalf, but you won't move when he tells you to sacrifice something. Oh, yeah, I'm talking to you. It doesn't work like that. The Most High responds to obedience, not lip service. Y'all should be knowing this by now. The Most High beating it in your head right here, right now. I don't move until you obey. Until you do what I say, until you sacrifice what I told you to sacrifice. Check out Psalm. If we go to Psalm 50, this is what we're supposed to do with the Most High. Psalm 50, 14 and 15. Again, that's Psalm chapter 50, 14 and 15. This is how we're supposed to act with the Most High.
Offer unto God thanksgiving, and pay thy vows unto the Most High, and call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me.
The Most High right now, he's telling you straight up in Psalms, pay your vows. Do what you promised. Obey his commands. And then, I repeat, and then when you call on him, he will deliver you. Not the other way around, family. The Most High is not your personal genie. You don't get to just rub the lamp whenever you need. No, sir. There's some things you got to do. There's some requirements you got to fulfill in order for him to move on your behalf. The churches, they don't teach you this. T.D. Jakes don't teach you this. Joel Osteen, he ain't gonna teach you this. Kenneth Copeland ain't gonna teach you this. Joyce Myers ain't gonna teach you this. Billy Graham ain't gonna teach you this. Creflo Dollar will not teach you this. But this book will teach you if you read it. If you want the understanding, this book will tell you exactly how the Most High works. He don't move until you do. Just like Ludacris said, when I move, you move. Just like that. That's how the Most High works. When you move, he move. That's what the Most High is telling us right here. Abraham didn't just talk a good game, family. He followed through And the Most High responded with what? A sworn promise. And what's this sworn promise? Well, he tell you here in 17. In blessing, I will bless thee, and in multiplying, I will multiply thy seed. Let's talk about this blessing, Israel. Because it's not just nice words. Oh, no. This is the Most High unleashing what? Generational power. He says he's going to bless Abraham, but not just bless him, he's going to multiply his seed. Now, don't get it twisted, though. This isn't just about having a lot of descendants. This is about dominion. This is about rulership, kingship, family. The Most High tells Abraham that his seed will be as numerous as the stars in the sky, and the sand on the shore. This is the nation of Israel, our people. This is who he's talking about right here. He's talking about us. The Most High is talking about the very people sitting under the curses of Deuteronomy 28, who are going to rise up and reclaim their rightful place on the earth. And just to be clear, this ain't about diversity. This definitely ain't about inclusion or sharing the blessings with other nations. This is strictly for the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The true Israelites, the Negro. Yeah, camps, you hear that? Negro. Descendants that are scattered across this earth. If you're still out here thinking this promise includes everybody, a lot of you Christians out there, if you still thinking this promise includes everybody, you've been duped. I repeat, you have been duped by that Eurocentric Christianity, white man religion. The Most High's promises are specific to Israel. That's you, black man. That's you, black woman, under the curses of Deuteronomy 28 today. Your pastor may not tell you that, but I will. And so will Paul. When we go to Romans 9, we're going to read 7 and 8. Again, that's Romans 9, 7 and 8. Paul repeats what I had to say.
Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
Paul makes it plain here. The children of the promise are the true seed. Not everybody who claims to be Abraham is part of this blessing. Boy, these Christians, boy, they keep on saying it. Spiritual Israel. We're part of spiritual Israel. Sorry, Becky. Billy Bob. Sorry to disappoint you. You are not. The promises flow specifically through who? Isaac. Then Jacob. Then directly to us, the true Israelites. Negro. He continues, thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies. Now, what could this mean? Because family, this part right here, this is where it gets real. The Most High tells Abraham that his seed, Israel, that's us, is going to possess the gate of his enemies. That means dominion. That means authority. That means the very nations that have oppressed Israel, that's you black people, that have enslaved us, that's you black people, that have stolen our heritage, that's you black people, they're going to be under our feet. I repeat, they are going to be under our feet. Can you believe it? As Booker T says, can you dig that, sucker? So let me break this down for you. The gate here represents control. In ancient times, whoever controlled the gate controlled the city. So when the Most High says that Israel will possess the gate of our enemies, he's saying we're going to take back everything. I repeat, everything that was stolen from us. This is about rulership, Israel. Get ready to rule. But guess what? You ain't going to be a part of that rulership if you can't sacrifice, if you can't obey, if you have no faith. And don't let anyone out there fool you into thinking this is some spiritual, metaphorical thing because the Christians love saying this. This is literal. The Most High is talking about real earthly dominion. The nations that have benefited from our oppression are going to be brought low, and Israel is going to rise. This is a promise. I repeat, this is a promise. This comes from the mouth of the Most High Yah. So it's going to be true. It's going to be true. It's going to be true. It will not come back void. So this going to happen. Regardless of what even other black folk out there say, oh man, that's just hateful. That's racist. That's racist. But it wasn't racist when they was beating our people in the head, feeding them to alligators, putting us in cages. It wasn't racist then, was it? But all of a sudden, now that we understand this book and we telling these heathen that we going to rule over you just like you ruled over us, all of a sudden, now we racist. Oh no, oh the horror. Oh, the horror. God is a God of love. He's a God of love. No, God is a God of justice. What you did, you gonna get back. We go to Romans 2, 26 and 20. Not Romans 2, Revelation 2. My bad. Revelation 2, 26 and 27. I repeat, Revelation 2, 26 and 27. They said this is spiritual, it's metaphorical. That's what the Christians say. Look what Yahushua says here. Look what Christ says.
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule over them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father.
Christ himself, God's Son himself confirms it. Those who overcome, that's you, black man, black woman, are going to be given power over the nations. Not spiritual power, real physical power. We're not talking about some kumbaya unity with the other nations. We ain't gonna be around the campfire holding hands, family. We talking about rulership, dominion, authority. And those nations who refuse to submit, what's gonna happen to them? They're gonna be broken like pottery. Broken. This is the future of our people, our nation, Israel. But you gotta obey first. Now look what happens when we get back in the rulership now. Verse 18, in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Now let's deal with this phrase because this is where a lot of people get it twisted right here. They see all the nations of the earth will be blessed and start thinking this means the Most High is about to bless everyone equally. Nope, that's not what's happening here. When the Most High says all the nations will be blessed, through Abraham's seed, he's talking about Israel's dominance and rulership, bringing order to the chaos of this world. The nations are going to benefit because Israel, that's us, is going to be in charge. And under our leadership, the world will finally be run according to the Most High's laws. That's what it means, family. This don't mean that they're going to share in the promises or any of the blessings that is for us. The blessing isn't for their sake. It's for our sake. Because Israel is the one through whom the Most High is working. He working through you, black man. He working through you, black woman. The nations are going to benefit from our rulership. But that doesn't mean they're getting the same inheritance or promises. They're going to fall in line under Israel. And we're going to go to one of my favorite verses. Isaiah 14, 1 and 2. Just so y'all can see it again. Oh boy, I know the heathen are they in the fetal position now. Isaiah 14, 1 and 2. Gonna keep you there, heathen. Check it out.
They hate this verse. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressor.
Isaiah make it as clear as rain. When Israel is restored as a nation, the other nations will be servants and handmaids. They're going to cleave to us because they'll recognize that the blessing flows through Israel. But don't get it twisted. This isn't about them being on our level. They'll serve us because they'll know that Israel is the chosen people. So after hearing all of that, what does Abraham do? Verse 19. Abraham returned unto his young men. Now this may seem like a simple wrap-up verse right here, but there's still something here. Abraham returned after all of this, after the test, after the obedience, after the revelation. Abraham went back to his young men. He didn't stay on the mountain. He didn't build a shrine or memorialize this moment. He returned to his everyday life, but he returned what? Changed. This is what happens when you walk in obedience, family. This is why I'm going so hard on this today. This is what happens when you walk in obedience. You may go back to your regular life, but you don't go back the same. Abraham came back with a deeper understanding of the Most High. He came back knowing that the Most High's promises were sure, that his blessings were certain, and that his obedience had sealed the deal for future generations. And let me tell you, black man, black woman, when you walk in obedience to the Most High, you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for the generations that come after you. That's your children. Your obedience sets the stage for your children, your grandchildren, and all of Israel to walk in the blessings and promises of the Most High. If we go to Deuteronomy 7 and 9, it'll expound upon what I'm talking about. Again, that's Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse number 9. Look what Moses said.
Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations.
The Most High keeps his covenant with those who obey him. Obey him. Obey him. Abraham's obedience didn't just affect him, it affected all of Israel. And your obedience today is going to affect future generations of Israelites. This is bigger than just you, family. So what's the takeaway from these verses right here that we just read? Obedience unlocks the blessings. Abraham didn't just receive these promises because he was a nice guy or because he had faith in his heart. He received them because he acted on that faith. He was willing to sacrifice his son, his most precious possession. And because of that, the Most High swore by himself to bless him and his descendants. And let me tell you something. The same promise is available to us today. But don't get it twisted. It's not going to come without sacrifice. The Most High is asking each of us to lay something down, to trust him with everything, and to walk in obedience. And when we do, the Most High will come through every time. But remember, this is only for Israel. The Most High's promises are for the true descendants of Jacob. If you're still out here thinking it's about everyone, you are missing the point. The Most High chose you, Israel, to be his people. And he's going to restore you to your rightful place. The nations are going to have to fall in line under the rulership of us. And that's not negotiable. So if you take nothing else away from these verses, take this, walk in obedience, trust the Most High, and know that his promises are for you. The Most High swore it by his own name, and we all know his word never fails. If we go to Numbers 23 and 19, we can see this. If I don't know this verse by now, I should know it now. Numbers 23 and 19.
God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of a man that he should repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good?
Most High don't lie, family. If he said it, he's going to do it. So walk in obedience and watch as the Most High fulfills his promises, just like he did for Abraham. Why? Because this is your heritage, family. This is your destiny. The Most High is preparing you for rulership, but it all starts with obedience. Are you ready to walk in it? So there's no half-stepping when it comes to breaking down this word, especially when it's concerning our heritage, our promises, and our future. So buckle up now, because the rest of Genesis 22 is going to hit hard like a spiritual sledgehammer to all the nonsense doctrines out there that have been keeping our people in the dark. So let's finish it out, brother. 20 to 24.
And it came to pass after these things that it was told to Abraham, saying, Behold, Milcah, she hath also borne children unto thy brother Nahor. His firstborn, and Buz his brother, and Kemuel the father of Aram, and Chesed, and Hazel, and Pildash, and Jidlap, and Bethuel. And Bethuel begat Rebekah. These 8 Milcah did bear to Nahor, Abraham's brother, and his concubine, whose name was Reumah. She bare also Tabah, and Gaham, and Thahash, and Makkah.
So focusing on 2021. It came to pass after these things. So the Bible is slick with transitions like these. I'll tell you that. But don't sleep on it. When it says it came to pass after these things, it's letting you know that something significant has happened. We just got done with one of the most pivotal moments in Abraham's life. His test of faith and obedience. After this ordeal, after Abraham's willingness to sacrifice Isaac, the Most High made a covenant with him. So this isn't just some small talk about somebody's family tree. What's being set up here, family, is a shift in focus. The Most High has dealt with Abraham and blessed him. Now we're getting a glimpse of what's happening with his extended family. You see, Abraham's obedience isn't just affecting him directly. It's affecting all families tied to him, whether through bloodlines like Nahor's or through the ultimate fulfillment of the promise in Israel. This is a spiritual domino effect. One act of obedience can change the course of nations. So Milcah bore children unto his brother, Nahor. Now, this is interesting here. Milcah, Nahor's wife, has borne children to him. This is Abraham's brother we're talking about. And we see that his line is being established. But let's not get caught up thinking that just because Nahor is Abraham's brother, his descendants are receiving the same promises. Nahor's lineage is only mentioned here, but don't confuse this with the line of promise. The Most High already established that the covenant is with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which is a key distinction that most of y'all should already know. The Bible is precise in all its genealogies that we see, because there's a separation between those who are chosen for the covenant and those who are not. So while the lineage of Nahor is laid out here, it's not to confuse you into thinking they're part of the covenant promise. This is simply a historical record of Abraham's immediate family, but the blessing and the covenant remain with Abraham's seed through Isaac. So don't allow these little other genealogies to confuse you when you read these in the Bible. Because if we go to Genesis 17 and 19, we see it right here, who the covenant is with. Again, that's Genesis 17 and 19.
And God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him.
So the Most High made it clear who the covenant is with. So don't get it twisted when you hear about Abraham's extended family. It always comes back to Israel, the chosen seed. So we go to 22, 24, or 21. We already did that one. 22 to 24. So we got the introduction of Rebekah here. Now we've got a roll call of names: Chesed, Hazel, Pildash, Jidlap, Bethuel. And this is where things start to get interesting. Out of all these names, Bethuel is the one to focus on because he's the father of who? Rebecca. Now, why does that matter? Well, we're about to see, because the Most High's promises keep flowing through the chosen seed. Rebecca is going to become the wife of Isaac, the son of promise. And funny thing, Bethuel in the Hebrew means what? Man of God, or abode of God. Because it's through this man that he has Rebecca. And this same Rebecca is going to be attached to Isaac. So the Most High is going to be abiding with Isaac because he has the covenant. He has the promise, family. You see all these names, they have a meaning. So even though we just spent the last verses going through Nahor's lineage, the only name that truly matters here is Rebecca, because through her, the covenant line will continue when she marries Isaac. The Most High is setting the stage right here, family. This isn't just about names on a family tree. It's about showing you how painstakingly precise the Most High is in fulfilling his promises. He's using Rebecca to continue the covenant line, making sure that every piece is in place for the birth of Jacob, who will later become Israel. If we go and skip up a couple of chapters and go to Genesis 24, we read verse 67. Again, that's Genesis 24 and 67. Oh boy, that's a lot of verses. Woo, boy.
And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death.
So Rebecca's introduction isn't random. It's a setup for what's coming next. The Most High is showing us how he orchestrates every detail to ensure the covenant promise stays with his chosen people. So we address the children of Nahor's concubine, Rumah, Tabah, Gaham, Dahash, and Makkah. These names are thrown in here, but let's be real, they're not part of the covenant either. They're here for historical record, but there's no blessing or promise attached to them like there is with Abraham's seed. So just because they shared the blood with Abraham's family, doesn't mean they're a part of the spiritual inheritance. This is where we need to discern and make a distinction between the people that are with the covenant and the people that are outside of the covenant. Because this is something we've got to stop confusing ourselves with today. So just because someone claims to be a part of the Abrahamic faith, as they say nowadays, or because they claim some kind of spiritual kinship to Abraham, like these Islamic people do, doesn't mean they're a part of the covenant line. That's reserved for who? The seed of Isaac, and ultimately Jacob, who became Israel. We already read it with Paul earlier. So what are we learning from these final verses in Genesis 22? This whole chapter may seem like it's wrapping up with some genealogy, but there's a lot more going on here than meets the eye. The Most High is showing us once again that his covenant is specific and targeted. It's not for everyone. It's not for all the nations. It's for Israel. The descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's us, Negro people, scattered across the earth. It's also showing us the covenant is unbreakable. From the moment the Most High swore by his own name, the covenant with Abraham and his seed was set in stone. And not just any seed, Isaac, and then Jacob, and then us, the 12 tribes of Israel. This covenant is unbreakable and eternal. The Most High doesn't change his mind. He don't make mistakes, family. He chose Israel, and he's going to fulfill every promise he made to them. Look at Malachi 3 and 6. Because these Christians and everybody else keep on saying that the Most High changed up. Oh, he opened up the covenant. But what does Most High say here in Malachi 3 and 6?
It says, "For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed."
The Most High don't change, and because of that, black people, the true sons of Jacob, will never be consumed. The covenant is everlasting. They say, oh, the church replaced Israel, but the Most High said, no. We also learn that while Nahor has children and his concubine has children, they are not part of the covenant. The Most High made it clear that the line of promise runs through Isaac and later through Jacob. This is an exclusive covenant, Christians, and is not open for reinterpretation. If you're not part of the chosen seed, you're not part of the promise. No matter what modern Christianity tries to tell you, this covenant isn't about inclusion or diversity, because that's what they're trying to push today. It's about Israel. It's always been about Israel. The Gentiles in the New Testament, yeah, they're part of the scattered Israelites returning to the fold, not random nations being grafted in. The truth of the matter is, the Most High's promises are for you, Israel, and only you. We go to Amos 3:2, another one of my favorite verses that cuts everything these Christians love to talk about. Amos 3:2, what does it say here?
You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Most High say it plain. You only, Israel. Black folk, that's you. He's only concerned with his people. And that's why he disciplines us so harshly. That's why we're going through what we're going through, family. But it's also why he'll redeem us completely. So there you have it, Israel. Genesis 22 wraps up not just with a test of faith, but with a reinforcement of the covenant promise. Abraham's line through Isaac and Jacob is secured now. And the Most High has sworn by his own name to bless, multiply, and give authority and dominion to Israel. The other nations, they're bystanders, footnotes in the grand story of Israel's redemption. This chapter isn't just about Abraham's obedience, though. It's about the Most High's faithfulness to his chosen people. The covenant line continues, and it's not through just anyone. It's through Isaac and Jacob, and it's coming in fruition to you, the true Israelites, scattered across the earth. The Most High is preparing you for rulership, for dominion, for the restoration of your rightful place. But like Abraham, it requires obedience. It requires sacrifice. And it requires the unwavering belief that the Most High's promises are sure and eternal. So Israel, don't let the world confuse you with lies about inclusion, diversity, or spiritual Israel. The Bible is clear. The covenant is clear. And your future is secured in the Most High's divine plan. And we ended off with this last scripture, Isaiah 45:17, another favorite of mine. Again, as Isaiah 45:17, what does the Most High say about us?
But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be consumed nor confounded, world without end.
That's the promise, Israel. Everlasting salvation, world without end. Stay faithful, stay obedient, and know that your redemption is near. Shalom, family. And with that, I end my lesson. All praises and great glory to the Most High Yah for allowing me to impart this heavenly wisdom in your ears today. I pray you guys were as spiritually edified as I was teaching it. And y'all willing, we'll be back next week, next Sabbath day, to do Genesis chapter 24. No, chapter 23. Now look at me, I'm trying to skip ahead. Chapter 23 tomorrow or next week. So I pray you guys have a good rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your Sabbath if you're listening today. And with that being said, shalom, family.